I am so glad you're here. Hey, guess what, guys? It is our anniversary show. And if you're here, I am pretty sure this is not the first time you've joined us. But if it is, welcome. It's our anniversary show. We started in May. Actually, May 21st was our first show. And surprisingly, the first guest we had decided to come back and join us. So he's going to pop in along with some more guests along the way. And this is just going to be fun. Look, I'm not Andy Cohen. This is not Look What Happens Live because we're talking about healthy stuff. Nobody's going to be fighting on here. And yes, we would rather be inside of the building, but it's all good because we're here. You're here with us. You can write down in the comment section questions. We're going to answer them. I'm going to text them and answer them for you as you go. As you know, this is not live, but it is unscripted. And that is what makes Movers Connect Live different from most shows. So without any further ado, I'm going to start bringing people on. Let's see who's in the neighborhood, guys. I'm excited. All right. Let's see. And all right. So everybody is on the screen, and we're just going to open up with a brief introduction, and we're going to start where we started in the beginning. On my right, I guess it is. I'm gonna stop saying what direction because it's different on the camera. But we have James, that yoga dude, with us. James, would you like to say hi and welcome some folks to the show? What's on your mind?
I would love to say hello. What's up, everybody? What's going on? I am very grateful to be the first guest, yay, and to be returning back here. Yeah. I had to be a guest on the show, and I had to come back because I really appreciate how you move and the energy that you put into the work that you do, and not just physically but also spiritually and mentally. I know probably like the first time I met you, it was at RCC, the community college out here in Riverside, and you had a booth and you was locking it down and you was showing me a whole bunch of new stuff, and you were just in your element. You were doing your thing, and every time I saw you, you brought that energy. No matter what was going on in your life, what was going on around, like it's you. And you also told me about my loctician. I gotta go see her this week. She gonna hook me up and get my locks right, like you. So I appreciate you just constantly being a resource of good energy, of knowledge, and just really a calm spirit in this world that definitely helps me. So I appreciate you, and it's just a privilege to be on this show with you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, James, why? I was trying to make this fun and not cry, but thanks so much, man. I appreciate the encouragement. And like when you start something new, you never know where it's gonna go. And so thank you for trusting me with your time. And we got Dr. Denise in the building. Let's see. Denise was episode 12. How you doing? And how are things?
I'm good. How are you? I'm glad to be back. I agree. James said it perfectly. The energy that you bring. I'm very proud because I know from whence you started. We did our internships together and working on our degrees and going from there. I remember when you started developing your program and you said you're going to start a business. And next thing I know, you're starting a show. Did you write a book too? Is it a book?
I did.
Created something, yes. All I know is every time you started something, I'm like, look at Erin, just a go-getter. So I'm very proud of you, and happy anniversary to Movers Connect.
Thank you. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. You guys are dope. I appreciate your lives. And I know you guys from various places and stuff like that, but this is what I found just in life, man. Energy is one of those things. I'm not one of those energy, Reiki, whatever you want to call those people, but when you see the heart of people and how they move in regards to just what they believe in, it's just amazing how synergy works, man. And so I really appreciate you guys just being around. I got somebody else popping in. Let's see who it is. But yeah, man, thank you so much for joining us. And you guys each brought something different to the show. I'm gonna go down the list in a bit of all the different topics and stuff we had or whatever. But to just kind of get us started in a little bit of a conversation piece is it's been so many changes that have happened, both health-wise with Corona, with people getting shot foolishly. Hello, we got Mommy Mango in the building. Yeah, I love this pop-up action. And so I'm the question I'm about to ask in a minute is just, guys, think about it as I'm formulating it. Is like, between this year and last year, like what is the biggest takeaway that you've gotten between what you've learned last year and what you've taken into 2021? And while you're thinking about that, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in Mommy Mango. Thank you for joining us. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And then, guys, we have James, episode 1 in the building. We have Dr. Denise Hines, episode 12 in the building. And we have Ray Janae, or Mommy Mango, episode 2. So, you guys, hi, welcome everybody. So, yeah, Ray, how was your day? And tell me, like, what's on your mind today? Thank you for joining us. So glad you could be here.
I just wanted to say congratulations. You're doing such an awesome job. I just love your spirit. You just keep going with it. You're just so motivating. I just want to say happy anniversary. You're doing it, girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ray. Now, look, I've alluded to, I don't know if you guys watched the show. Episode 2 was where Ray Janae came in. Oh my gosh. I think your show, Ray, was like the beginning of like so many like things just happened technologically to where it was just like, whenever you do something new, it's like you figure out things as you go. And on your show, the lesson that I learned was like Instagram only has a 40-minute window. That is what I learned. Because we had like a great show, man. And the world would never know because we were like getting to like the last minute of the show.
Yeah,
and then,
that was crazy.
The morning sign came up and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And before I can click it to save it, it was gone. And so
yeah.
was this episode. And so,
but that show was so great though. There were some wonderful questions that moms had. It was really, really good.
She brought her kids on the show. She has like the cutest kids. They did like a cooking demo, and the world would never see. Like, praise the Lord that she likes me. We go back from like college, so there's a break, thankfully. Like she met up on another day and just kind of recreated some of the stuff. So, thank you for your spirit and like your willingness to rock with us. This is like the behind the scenes. Like they already know. Like we already had to restart the show already today. It just. The devil's a lie is what I'm going to say. And,
all right. It's all right. Yes, I love what you were saying when I jumped on it. I think the one thing that I've learned throughout this whole like 2020 experience is, it's about resilience, being able to bounce back, being able to learn, being able to like figure out how to make things work even when everything changes. You know what I mean? So that was, I think, a great example of what 2020 was like. You just kind of had to, okay, this is where we are. What are we going to do? Are we going to just kind of go down with it? Or are we going to try to rise above it and do the best that we can do? And that's a great example of that. So.
Right. Like it or don't. Like, this is where we are,
Yep.
And yeah. You guys, what were your thoughts, you guys?
For me, 2021 or 2020, I should say, it was a reminder to live your life. If there are things you wanted to do, professionally as well as just socially or recreationally, have some fun, live your life. Anything you had, whatever checklist you have, start checking those things. Go for it. Get it done because the time is going, and you just never know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I mean, because life is like so precious. It's, with people passing from COVID and just regular life circumstances, it's like, it doesn't have to be an age, what I mean? It's just like anything could happen randomly. And yeah, goodness. James, what's on your thoughts, man? What was your 2021, 2021, like, aha moment, I guess?
2020 definitely helped me to understand what are the things that define me and what are the things that I just do. Because some things is just like, I can't do it anymore because I can't play ball no more. I can't go see this thing or do that or whatever no more. But the things that who I am, I found a way to get them done. I found a way to connect with the people who I really wanted to connect with. I found a way to move in different circles and have different opportunities. So we got Mommy.
I just had to show up on her little show.
Yeah. Hey,
Gotta
good
love the
one too. I
baby.
told you, my kids, I promise you.
And that's a perfect example of 2020. You always find a way to adjust to whatever's
Yeah.
coming at your way. So 2020 was a great year for me to really redefine and get closer to myself and who I really am. So, and you started a podcast in 2020, correct?
Yeah, yeah, man. I started one. You started one. Like I know. Like, look, here's the thing. Is like, you go through your frustrations. You know what I mean? Like, and like, Mommy Mango was saying, it was just like with the whole resiliency. It's like either you're gonna stop or quit, or you're gonna decide to go forward. It may not be fast or anything like that, but like at some point I was just kind of like, I would rather be out, doing some presentation, or I would rather be out like jumping around and doing stuff like that, but that ain't an option, clearly. And it was kind of by crook, I guess. By hook, maybe I say by hook that it kind of happened because I had gotten invites to do things for people. Like, hey, can you have a group doing this? Can you do like a video and send it to me? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I did like 2 of them, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm sitting here doing videos for people. And if I put the time to like put a room together to look a certain way, like why would I just let the room sit there and do nothing else with it, And I don't know. It just kind of went from there. Like tell me, like with you guys and stuff like that, like one thing that you guys can say, I guess like stood out as something that like was an area that you're like, you know what, like I'm gonna leave that in 2020. Like what would you say that would be?
I would say my podcast.
The podcast?
Yeah,
Why?
I started on Instagram just doing some lives and stuff because that's what everybody was doing and rolling, and it was fun. And then I realized, like, I'd rather just be a guest than be the host. I'm all right with that. I'd leave it to the professionals like Aaron Young. So
It is not easy, man. It's not. But like, yeah, it's a consistency thing. Like, and I've had like, I started real ambitious. Like, oh, we're gonna do 2 shows a month. And I did 2 shows a month for like, I don't know, maybe 3 shows or so. And then I was like, yeah, nah, I can't. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. But it's like, I think like when you have a passion for something, I don't know, Denise, I'm sure you could tell, like, since you don't really know like James as well. So his business name is That Yoga Dude. And like he's a rarity because like how many black guys does yoga do yoga? Like, so he's got his own niche market. You can tell talking to him, he's got that whole like just chill zen attitude going on. So I don't really see him stressing out too much, but I think it's a good combination of how like, and he studied mental health, and he worked in mental health for some years. So I'm sure that I don't know which one. I don't know, James, which is a chicken, which one is the egg though? Like which one is the chicken and the egg for you?
mental health definitely came first. I got my master's in marriage and family therapy, and a part of working in the field, of course, is burnout. And one of my supervisors told me about this yoga class.
Yes.
And initially, I'm like, do you see? I'm a black man. Don't you know black men don't do yoga? That ain't us. I'm not wearing those tights. I'm not going to that stanky mat.
Like, you want me to do what? Stick my foot where?
Right. I ain't down dogging nothing. But I gave it a try, and here I am, like, this is almost 8, 9 years, 10 years or something later. So it just was something that continued. And it was a building process before I got into, like I said, the yoga. I was into the martial arts and athletics and different things that I focus on my body. And then slowly it became that combination of the body and the mind and bringing those together through the mental health, the yoga. So I started all seeing them come together, and enjoying the ride now.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're still in your field, even though it seems like 2 different things. But I can see you still using your degree with it, in your business and blending the 2.
Yes.
Yeah, they're definitely not exclusive. I would say for me, what I left in 2020 was worrying about the things I've not accomplished yet. I was sharing an experience. I shared an experience with a few people recently, and even last year, at some point last summer, I was thinking about all the things I don't possess yet or haven't accomplished, or basically looking at the glass half empty. And of course, I'm speaking from as a woman of faith. And while I was going down this checklist, nothing was wrong. I wasn't depressed, at least not that I could tell. It's just the thought just occurred to me, man, I'm this age and I haven't done this yet. I haven't done that. I don't have this. And mid-thought, it's like the Holy Spirit said to me, Denise, none of that really matters. This world is not your home.
Wow.
None of that will matter when you get to heaven. Just nothing wrong with any of those things, nothing wrong with desiring or pursuing any of those things. But if it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. They're all material things anyway. And it took the self-imposed pressure off of me. And I realized whatever I want to do, I'm going to pursue it, but I'm not on a timeline. I'm not pressuring myself. It has to be done by this time or this age. And I'm more relaxed. I don't have to stress out about it. I don't have to compare myself to others who have or don't have or well on their way past, more advanced than me in something or skilled. It's just, I'm doing me. It brought the phrase, do you, to a different light. I'm doing me and I'm enjoying the process along the way. Sure, there's still some things I would like to have or would like to see happen. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, I'm still going to live my life. I'm not going to let those things, what I don't have or haven't done yet, paralyze me and keep me from enjoying where I am right now.
That's wonderful. And that's that's the thing is too, is like, I think that's one of those like that whole like pressure. Like I think sometimes we're our biggest, not to say our biggest enemy, but like we put the most pressure on ourselves than other people do. You know what I mean? And
yes. I was in my own way. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's exactly what came to mind. I'm in my own way.
On cartoons, there's always one voice on this side and one voice, a little guy, And it's at the end of the day, it's like that. It's more things that's worth it. You know what I mean? Like there's more things that are value in life than just like always trying to climb somewhere. You know what I mean? Like if you're always like, where can I keep climbing? Where can I keep climbing? You miss out on the view of where you are, or around you typically find. I remember we were just in our conversation for the show. When you have your eye on a specific destination, you miss out on the opportunities that's right there around you and like your growth spots. And that's just life. Like, I think it takes I don't know about you, I can speak for myself, but like something about aging. I'm not gonna say that over, but as you age, like you look at life differently, it's like a blessing because it's like at some point you're like, whether you want to admit it or not, you're like trying to like keep up with somebody else as you're growing. And at some point you're like, you know what, like this is my race. They're not paying my bills. They're not paying for, and it kind of helps when you look at stuff like that, My little cousin's funeral, he was only 31 years old and was killed like senselessly. It wasn't Corona related or anything like that. And it's like, man, like at 31, like it made me think about what I was doing at 31. Was I in a space where I would even be considered finished with anything I was trying to do? Like what would my impact story have been? Or like, man, who would you be able to say you were there for? Something about like that whole life and death thing. It kind of gives you a different perspective, right? Or did you guys have any like family or issues like translating between the coronavirus and like different things associated with it? Did you guys manage that whole thing?
Yeah. Well, the downside with this quarantine or the pandemic, I should say, I did lose a few relatives, not to the virus itself, but we lost relatives young and old. And during the quarantine period, it was hard because I couldn't visit family. Usually whatever the family event, whether you're celebrating, whether it's a wedding or a birthday, or a loss, we usually gather, and I am one of the people they can rely on showing up. I will hop on a plane and see my family. And it was hard not to do that. And especially family's family, but in this case, it was someone I was close to, that corner of the family that I was very close to, and to not be able to go and support was very hard. Fortunately for technology, we can call and Zoom, FaceTime or Zoom meetings and things like that. Not quite the same as being in person, obviously, where you can have that physical touch and give a hug or allow, someone to cry on your shoulder. But that's been the challenge for me because, like you, I lost a fairly young cousin first week of this year. I remember thinking, oh, that's what we're doing in 21. This is how we're starting off.
That's not cool.
But we don't know why God allows things to happen the way it is, but and I didn't know what to say to my cousin whose son it was that he lost. But so that was the challenge for me with 2020 and 2021 so far, is not being able to travel and be with family when I wanted to. The flip side, I have been communicating more with family. However, there are others that, because of the shutdown, we've been calling more, and not only calling, but maybe seeing each other, FaceTiming, things like that.
Yeah.
And that's been nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, like taking advantage of like the opportunities that exist, like, looking at all the different options. I gotta send you guys this. I don't know if you heard of the comedian Christy. She does like the Christy show. She has this song, "Take Me Out the Group Text." It is hilarious. It's hilarious.
Hey, yes, I'm tempted to, but it's like, nope, this is family. So my compromise, I turn the notifications off.
Okay,
and I go in and look whenever I'm ready.
Right. So it's not waking you at all hours of the day. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Erin, in celebration of your anniversary, what would you say was the highlight of a year of podcasting for you?
Good.
Yeah, that's a good question, James. I think the highlight was you know what, like I got like a nice little surprise, and like, when April comes, I'm sure she could testify about it too. It's just like the surprise on people's faces when they actually get a chance to like just open up, because a lot of it is like, when I would ask different people to be on the show, they're like, what are we talking about? Or what's the show? Or like, they want like details. And I'm like, just come on, we're going to talk, we're going to have a conversation. And a lot of it, as you guys know, like I'm asking about you. I want to find out what you're doing. I want to know like what got you into what you want to do. And I found that like, and just talking to people about them is like, people typically are surprised at the end of it all. Like, wow, like, like they have aha moments about just maybe they're, I don't know, maybe hearing it differently from a different perspective. There she goes.
She is.
So the aha moment is always really cool.
So I'll tag a question to that. What's next moving forward?
Oh, shoot.
Now that you have a year under your belt.
You know what? I literally am thinking about stopping this show. I mean, like on a regular basis. Perhaps maybe I'll do like, like the big like national celebration days, like breast cancer, different things that are like major days or something like that, and maybe just have an episode here or there. But just the work of like continual shows every month, it was a lot. It was a lot more because I'm doing the editing as well. I'm trying to coordinate with the people, trying to look decent in front of the camera, make sure my sound is half decent. And I think I'm gonna, I don't know. I like to do new projects every month, every year. So who knows? I'm gonna leave that in God's hand. But I'm gonna throw to April, since April is in the building. Okay, let me introduce her real quick, you guys. So we got April, Miss April Gillis, the behind the scenes magician for so many different groups. That's a whole other long story. But I want to publicly appreciate her, because when I first started out this whole idea, she was the willing soul that was allowing me to use her, allowing us to have the Zoom space to be able to talk more than an hour as these wonderful restrictions. So y'all would just like clap for me, like I really would like appreciate that, man. And it's beautiful too, because a lot of organizations she's worked with, she does a lot of Zooming. So she was very helpful in just allowing, just showing how to like, okay, change people out and how to like do different things with the camera and just like connect to people. And so I know she has a few things she wants to share because the aha moment, we've talked about that before. So yeah, Miss Gillis, hello, welcome.
Hello, hello. Thank you for allowing me to be in front of the camera. Which is not my preference, but for you, I will oblige.
Oh.
I will say it's definitely been a journey. I've loved
Yes.
helping see, just being a part of your vision coming to life. You know, I remember the first one with James with the Instagram live, and I'm like, there's too many things you can't control. So when
Yeah,
you're like, how do I do Zoom? I'm like, well, let's give it a try. You know, I've been working with a few, like you said, a few different organizations and learning some things. So I'm like, let's try this out. Let's see if we could do this, and just seeing your vision come to life. My brother got to be one of the guests on your show with, you know, Perform Athletic Recovery Center. The look on his face, I think that was probably my favorite part. Being behind the scenes was one, seeing your vision come to life, but always getting to see and the look of the guests when the camera would turn off and people are like, wow, like this felt good. I really have a lot to offer. And I think, you know, everyone has a story, and sometimes you don't get to appreciate it because no one is asking. And so the fact that you recognize the opportunity to ask people about their stories and to, you know, really tap into the gifting of what they're doing, I think it's beautiful. I love being a part of it, and I look forward to taking part in whatever God drops into you for your next vision. We'll talk about how to work behind the scenes to bring that to life too. So let me know and we'll be there.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much. Like that's yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Aaron,
not
you can't.
self-deprecating. That's kind of maybe that's like one of my issues with this whole thing. I'm not self-deprecating. So it's one of those things like, stop it. But at the same time too, like, I don't know, man. I guess I was raised with the whole like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, why not try something different, you know? And thankfully, like, shout out to my mama, boop, 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 for just you like that. That was I'm not even anyway. Shout out to my mom for just like always, you know, going, okay, like me going, oh, Ma, I want to do this. And she's like, okay, tell me about it. And I'm like, this is what I know, you know. And then she's like, okay, well, when you get some more details, let me know. And like, you know, always kind of there finding a way to kind of make it happen. Like it may not be like the next day or week or whatever, but like eventually it's like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. Like if there are details to be had, we can figure it out. And like, why not try it? So I was trying to share that with other people, you know what I mean? And I think the other thing, like, you know, to Denise's question, I thought about as I talk, I think that's one of my things I learned too. I think and talk at the same time. So excuse me if I've ever cut anybody off. Apologies. That's not the intent. But thank you to all my teachers who put most talkative. You're welcome. It's a part of my process. But no, what I was gonna say is, yeah, just like how people like have so much to offer, but like the amount of like resources that already exist. I think that was like one of the things for me with like community work is like everybody kind of sometimes works in silos, you know? And so like part of it too was like allowing people to like share what they're doing so that other people can be involved too. Like, you know, try to make it like real health promotion style, you know? So that if people came back and watched behind, then they can like, you know, they have a new resource. I think my favorite show, and it's nothing against anybody else's show, but I'll explain why it's my favorite show was the breast cancer support show. And I was able, like, man, that's another thing. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm doing it again. It's like, but the breast cancer support show, I just thought about like, you know, I had a family member that's close that dealt with breast cancer. And so I was able to come in contact with this wonderful group of ladies. And so for the show, I was like, yo, that'd be great if one of them came on. Well, the Lord bless, because they're like, oh, I'll come. But then I'm also going to bring like the whole team. Is that okay? I'm like, yes, bring them all, you know? and like they shared their experience. And like I think when people are in a different journey, like like for like our shows in particular, like James is talking about yoga, which is something people can elect to do, and it'll bring them like some greatness. Denise was talking about just like programming and being able to like work on like health programs and like keep them allow them to be effective and that kind of thing. And those are things that are elective, but like things like when it comes to diseases that people are dealing with, like people are in a different space, you know what I mean? And so if I was thinking like if someone was newly diagnosed, like that would be cool if there was like a place that they can go and at least get some like words of comfort, some resources, so that they know that like, hey, there's some coming out of it. There's a possibility. Because like one of the ladies had 3 bouts of cancer. She survived 3 bouts. You hear me? Like 3 of them, like 3. And that's like a part of other conditions that she had. Another one, it's just so many different things and people in their circumstances. So like the resiliency right there. And like, I think some of us have had like near-death experiences. That's a whole nother show topic, I'm sure. But when you come out of something that you almost didn't make, it's like the perspective. You can't buy that. You know what I mean? So like for them to sit with me and we sat and talked for like, I had to cut the show because we probably had 2 hours of content. So editing that was like a beast. But at the end, like they left me with all these different resources that I put as slides for people to be able to go back and check. So if you're watching it and you have somebody that you know with breast cancer or in that journey, please go back and watch episode 9, I think it was. No, episode 8. That was episode 8, October. But yeah, so like that kind of stuff, like, man, like, and it was just, I can't say all of this, none of it I can say is like, man, I'm so good at it. It's like, no, I have people who like the Lord is blessed to be able to have in my life that were willing, sometimes at the last minute, please don't raise your hand in front of TV, but like at the last minute, willing to be able to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And like y'all are speakers that get paid, man. Like, I'm sorry, I ain't got it. But like y'all are speakers that get paid, you know what I mean, for what it is that you do, for your expertise. And I find it a blessing that you guys would, offer your time, even today, to sit and chat with this one little girl. So I know that was I try not to do that, man, but this is what happened. This is what happened.
Whatever you come up with next, I would love to be the first guest.
Okay, James. Okay, I'm a hold you to it now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. No, but like before you guys go, I just want you guys to kind of like drop something that you're doing so people can jump in it. Like, hey, I'm on that promotion line. So like, what are you doing and where can people find you?
You can go to www.thatyogadude, D as in dog, A as in apple, T as in Tom, yogadude.com, all one word together. Instagram, That Yoga Dude, Facebook, That Yoga Dude. Just find That Yoga Dude and you'll find where I'm at.
All right. That's lovely. Thank you for joining us. And Denise, Dr. Hines, where can we find you? What do you got coming up soon? And where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram, but those are my personal pages. I do have a couple of projects I'm not ready to put out yet because they're sort of in the works and the planning stages, but definitely will be reaching out to you when I'm ready to put that information out there.
Let me know and I'll find a way to plug you in. We are celebrating our 10 years this year, guys. I'm excited. I will drop the dates on that. So thank you so much for coming through, guys. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations. Looking forward to what else you got going.
Thank you. I will let you know. I will let you know when I figure it out. I'm just trying to keep my tentacles up, man. I try. But thank you for coming through.
All right. Bye.
Be safe out there. Take care.
Okay.
All right, Miss April.
Are we gonna pause or we're gonna keep going?
Yeah, man. I wanted to talk to you. So
hey.
Okay, I'm just gonna go through a few. Now I know you've been probably one of the rare few who have seen like most of them. And so like I'm gonna just go like these are the topics that we've kind of gone through, guys. Like this would be, I guess this marks officially like episode 17, I think. And some of them have been duplicate shows, like, you know, part 1 and part 2, because it just got interesting. I try to get people out of here in 30 minutes. April, don't I try? Don't I? I try. I
It's
really
not
try.
possible. It's too good.
It's not
Good.
possible. It's like you get on something good and it's like, oh, like, but finish your thought. Like, I want to hear you. And then before you know, it's like, oh man, it's been like an hour and a half. Like, we're gonna have to get some for real edits. And apologies to those times the edits weren't smooth. Look, I'm not a pro at this thing. I just try, okay? So these are some of the topics. Let's see. So we did yoga, mental health. We did healthy eating, as well as a spotlight on diastasis recti, which was wonderful by Mommy Mango, who has thankfully joined and jumped in with us today. We did some more stuff about mental health. We did some great things when it came to talking about massage and self-care. We did, man, some topics on health outreach, like people who are missionaries telling their testimony about working in different places, how to maintain that work life, that fitness and life balance, because you know it's real. Everybody has good intention, but you know, life is real. Let's see. Had Cece Pian came on, like amazing celebrity chef who like blessed us with her talent, and one of our only like recipe demonstrations, man. She put it in. If only I can eat that in real life, man. We had people talking about either breast cancer, I mentioned, cultural competency. We did some community building. We had guests that were talking about the holiday blues and like being able to deal with the holidays when you've had losses in your life and just being able to press on. Man, impacting communities. We had folks talking about diabetes and like balancing out family and like healthy things for your family. Oh man, program development, cultural competency, and then you know a nutritionist, because you always got to have a nutritionist to help you get your food situation together, because I think that's a struggle we all have. And so, like of all the ones now, see, it's easier for you to choose, and I'm glad I can push it on you. What were your favorite themes that we talked about?
Oh, see that you're so wrong for so many
What?
reasons. You're asking
If I
for
say
a favorite. I will not say a favorite. I will just say some highlights that come to mind. Impromptu. I will say, you know, one of the latest ones, of course, Miss Phyllis Clark. That was awesome.
Hello.
That one that, you know, went into part 1, part 2. That was amazing. I definitely enjoyed. Of course, my brother, have to shout him out with that. I know some of like the chefs and just understanding their passion, how they got to where they're doing. I can't say what was my favorite. I don't know. I have to say it's such an arsenal. I'll just have to say the whole series is a tool, you know, because if like you said, like you're talking about the breast cancer, if I need something, I'm like, oh man, let me go back and see, you know, your film on this one. Let me go back and see this one. And I think that's what people need, is you don't know you need something until you recognize it. And it's like, oh man, I saw that somewhere and it's a resource. And so I can't call a favorite. I can't. I really can't. I will say a couple of spotlights that I enjoy on the show. I do like your spotlight on, you know, your health item of the week and the fun facts that you give, because it, you know, it helps to think about stuff in a different way. But overall, I think it's more the reaction that I love from everyone, that I could say the aspect that just, aha,
Right.
I just have to go back to that. And, you know, people realizing and remembering their own greatness just by being able to have a conversation and be on the show together. So I think that's what I'll go with.
Okay, fine. No, thanks so much. No, I appreciate that. I'm not gonna give you all that pressure, but no, yeah, man. Like sometimes it's like from the outside looking in, yeah, you just get a different perspective. You know what I mean? Because I think most of the time, and because I know these people, like some I know better than others, but like, what I know of these people, like they are like hard workers, do what they say they're gonna do. Like they have their own different things that they're focused on and that they're impacting, things with their particular like focus. And so like we're so busy, I can understand people being so busy doing their own thing that it's like self-reflection. What? Like I gotta go do XYZ today. Like that's what my day looks like. I gotta do it. Like so I don't have time for all of that. But I think sometimes maybe that's a motivation. Like I didn't do a motivational thought for the day. Appreciate your own aha. Like appreciate your own like dopeness. Like not to say you got to walk around with like your head, up there and like you're not the best person in the world now. Don't get too excited. But like sometimes it's okay to like recognize like that you're actually you're pretty dope like yourself. You've done things that have been impactful. You've made changes in the lives of other people. You've improved yourself. You're not who you were maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Like I'm not a mental health person. I probably could use it as we all could, but like you're not who you were a few years ago. That movie Pay It Forward, right? Like pass your dopeness forward. So here it goes. Step 1, recognize your dopeness. And step 2, pass that dopeness over to someone else. That's the thought for you.
I love it. I love it.
That is what happens, unscripted, man. It's kind of like the thing that made it fun and not like, like a job all the way. Like there were some moments now. I think I've had to cry on like one episode because I don't care what I try to do with this phone and this camera and this thing. It just would not work, man. I don't know if I've told you this. Like somebody approached me at some point, I don't even know when it was, about like, I guess they were starting a network TV thing on YouTube. And so they asked if I would be able to, contribute content. So of course, I'm using Movers Connect Live as a content to share to their network that's going around the world. So catch us on Citizens Network. I will be putting some of these shows on there so other people like literally around the world can like have access to it. And so listen.
Hey, international already. Me gusta.
Now, if they want to send a ticket, I'm here for that too. By the way, I'm gonna throw that in there as bonus. But yeah. So I mean, it's not for naught. Like I think sometimes in life, like we can either pick like the route that's like, oh, like life sucks. I don't like the situation. And I mean, like I can't write a book on it per se, but like I can just speak from what seems to have not failed yet. And that's that just try it, man. Like you never know. And it won't be perfect. Usually it won't be easy all the time, but honestly, what in life is? And if you made it through 2020, like you're a survivor. Like you get the badge, you get the awards. Like if they're tennis shoes, you should get them joints too and rock them with pride because that means you survived like all that other foolishness. Matter of fact, I think today, and I apologize for not saying this earlier, but like today is literally the anniversary of the massacre, I'm gonna call it, of George Floyd. And we all who have lived through it, we're different people because of it. We are literally different people because of it. The world is a different place because of it, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. But I was thinking about that today, and what came to mind is outside of all the atrocities attached to it is like I think that we all have we've all been called to have an impact in life. Everybody's call and station is different. You know what I mean? But for some, it just costs more. And though no one would have called it or wanted it to be the way that it was, it shouldn't have never happened the way that it did. But like, look at the, what's the word? Look at how it's translated, man. People across the world were in solidarity for weeks, not just one day, not just 1 hour. Like people of all skin colors walked together, they protested together. And some people may say, what good has it done? Look around. There are new laws in different cities. There are people who consider the plight of African Americans a little bit different. And we might have not wanted it to be the way that it did, but it happened, and like things are changing because of it. I think, have you seen the video where his daughter, and that girl is going to be somebody amazing. I'm sure she already is now, but they have a video of her saying like, my daddy changed the world. Can you imagine? 7 or something, maybe less than that. And like at that age, what? And so now for those of us, I'm not trying to make this church, but for those that are alive and remain, what can we do? You know, I think about that kind of stuff. Probably shouldn't, but these are things that come to mind. And so we have life in some space of liberty, some space now. Some people's space is different than others. But while we have it, I don't know. How can we make use of it better?
That's a question with 1,000 answers. And I think it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but I think just starting with what's within your center of influence, you know, what can you do with, doesn't have to be on a public platform. It doesn't have to be grand. Just starting small makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And you never know what that small would be, you know. We did it again. I think we're past 30 minutes. I think we're past 30 minutes again. I don't know why this keeps happening. But I thank you again, everybody. I'm gonna thank you because you're on the line. Thank you so much for just like believing in the vision and like joining in partnership. There's something for you, man. I'm gonna send you something and I'm gonna surprise you by it. I just want you to know it's gonna happen. So don't try to get rid of it or don't try like to not open it. It's gonna happen, okay? Here we go. So we got James, that yoga dude. We got Mommy Mango. We got Michael Curry. We got Tony Gillis. We got Courtney Brackens. We got Chef Cece Pion. We had Dr. Ken Stewart. We've had Dr. Javona Sandiford. And for those that just watched and got a little bit of something or a thought or just something to do differently with a fruit or vegetable, I appreciate it. And hopefully, you know, it added to your situation. So from all of us here, we just moved. This is Movers Connect Live episode, I guess it's 17. The celebration show. Bam, bam, bam. I have to put that in the background somewhere. Do this. I so appreciate it. You can just write in the chat either a comment, something that you thought about, something that you learned along the way, or something that you'd like to see, you know, in the future. Now, I did say that I would like this to be the last consistent show. I'm still on, got my antenna up looking to see what I'm told as to whether or not I should make that the truth or not. But until like another big event or something that comes on, I'm looking to kind of like, you know, close this chapter a bit. It's been great. No shade to anyone. But like we say, I do want you to stay posted because we are also celebrating with my business. Just Move Consulting is turning 10 this year, guys. I'm really excited. And I do have an event coming up. So if you're local in Southern California, I really want you to join me. So stay posted. I will get you the details on that. But from us here at Movers Connect Live, like I always like to end the show, I'm going to say the community that moves together improves together. So just move and yeah, try something different today. And we're out. Thank you.
Hi, Aaron. Congratulations. Wow. A whole year. You have been excelling so much longer than that, but definitely a whole year live on Facebook. And I just want to congratulate you. I am so honored that I have been a part of this and that I was able to share on the platform. I pray that the Lord will bless you with so many more opportunities to share tools for wellness and healthy living. Keep up the good work. I am super proud of you. I am super excited for you. And may God continue to bless you and send you, whether it's people, connections, informations, and most definitely financing so that you can continue to bless the people of God for the kingdom of God. Keep up the good work. Love you. Bye.
Hello, my name is Cece Payan, and I am the executive chef and owner of Afkabe by Cece Payan, where we celebrate Africa and the African diaspora through a plant-based lens. We want to take time today to congratulate Aaron Young and Just Move Consulting on their momentous anniversary. Aaron, congratulations on walking the walk and talking the talk. You inspire us every day. Remember, everything you eat either contributes to your health or your demise. So stay wise.
And for everybody else who have joined us for Movers Connect Live, I'm gonna be ambitious now. They say don't try to like throw out names because you're gonna miss them. But I'm gonna try anyway because I wrote them down.